win an MVP, who is Kendrick Perkins fighting against this year?
I'm coming with a bold prediction of the year. Nikola Jokic wins his third MVP.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise. The best player in the world is going to win it again. Last year he got robbed, and immediately everybody said, oh, wait, he got robbed. That, I think, is enough to wear away some of the voter fatigue. I don't see a world where Jokic comes out like lackadaisical because he's never been like Giannis where he's like 1,000% every time down the court. He's just so good. He can be relatively lax and play at his own pace and put up his numbers no matter what. We all think they're going to be the 1 seed. If they're the 1 seed again and he's the best player in the world again, I think it'll be him because the 2 teams in the East are going to be so good, but they have too many good players that it's going to take them out of the conversation for MVP.
You don't think his horse racing is going to distract him?
That narrative is beating his ass right now already,
he was
Isaac.
out there, he was at practice scouting horses. He needs to lock
People
in.
are so bored.
He
And
needs to
they
lock
have
in.
nothing. People aren't used to the fact that the best player in the world has nothing to nitpick. People are like, don't know how to comprehend a world where the best NBA player doesn't have something to slander them about. So they have to be like, maybe he doesn't care about basketball. Maybe he likes horses too much. Like this is like a weird pre-draft thing where they're like, oh, he cares too much about outside factors. But the whole time he just won Finals MVP.
Nah, he watches horse racing too much for me. I can't stand by it. I can't do it.
It's so stupid.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And because of that, nah, that's not why. But I am going somewhere different though. I'm going with Jason Tatum to win MVP.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think we saw Tatum at like really leading the race for about like a month and a half at the start of last year. I think that the Celtics are going to be so good this season. I like I said earlier, I think that they are going to get 60 wins easy. I think that Tatum's life is going to be as simple as it's ever been, which is go out every night and get 30 and don't get embarrassed on defense. And he's already like a good defender. And so you have this two-way star who's going to average 30 on the best team in the conference, potentially the best team in the league. And so like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't it go to Tatum if the Celtics meet all of the expectations that you know are put upon them right now? So yeah, I'm going Tatum.
I think the narrative will be they have a super team and that they're so good that he's going to be in the mix for sure. So it'll
I don't
basically
think
be
so
what's,
though. I don't think they are going to be looked at as a super team just because like their team is very, very good, but at the same time, if you stack up everybody on them and Milwaukee, the first 2 players coming off the board are for Milwaukee, right? Or I guess 2 of the top 3. I think I would take Tatum over Dame, but
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
but
Here's the thing: the Bucks are also a super team.
Exactly, and so I think they are more of that than Boston,
But the Nuggets aren't.
and that's fair. That's why like I wouldn't put Giannis as my second. Like I can definitely see Jokic being the runner up, but I do think that Tatum has a really good opportunity for him to go and kind of just like seize this entire moment. And he averaged 30 last year. So right.
I agree.
30?
I just think that
so.
I think it'll be that they're going to be better. But I think for this recipe, for him to already be an MVP contender, and then to make that jump, I would think one, it's about the competition. Does Jokic have a caliber season worth that? Does a newcomer come? Does Shea have that, or whoever else? But for Tatum, I think they're going to be a better team, but it won't be because he got better. You know what I mean? Like he's probably going to be the same. So if they made this big jump and it's because they added better players, not necessarily because anything changed with Tatum, I don't know what the stronger argument will be if Jokic has also an MVP caliber season with less help. You know what I mean? It'll basically be what's stronger, the voter fatigue or the super team fatigue.
I think something that'll bust both of those thoughts is just simply the Boston Celtics might be like that. Now, with that being said, I don't have Tatum being the MVP, but if it does happen, it's simply because the Boston Celtics won 65 games. Jason Tatum maintained the same type of numbers, and it's just sheer greatness that you cannot deny. And this may be his opportunity to enter that top 5 air that a lot of people eventually expect him to go ahead and be a part of, you know.
Listen, he's getting something. He's getting something. He's either getting the clutch player award, he's getting the MVP, he's getting the scoring title. There's gonna be a trophy at the end of the year with Jason Tatum's name on it. Like this is the moment, this is the chance. I think he's taking that opportunity.
Listen, if they have an all-time great regular season, I can see it. But I think it'll take an all-time great regular season.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they'll have that.
And I think with
Fair.
that argument, with that Donovan has, I can definitely agree with that. But I have a different MVP. My MVP winner for this year is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that, like you said, Isaac, he's just always a fucking monster. And what happened and how they went out last season will reap his mind. I see him being stupidly locked in and just putting up fucking 33, 34 points a game or something insane like that.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis. And I think he has that narrative being embarrassed and all these eyes are on him and Dame now. And I think his efficiency, as crazy as it sounds, is gonna jump back up actually, because if I remember correctly, it was slightly down compared to the year before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's gonna be more efficient, put up a little bit more points per game, and the Bucks are gonna be elite. And I think with the type of season that he's gonna have, it might be all time great. But also, Jokic could easily do the same thing, and the Celtics could be elite. I don't fucking know, but it's just a wild prediction.
Giannis is gonna have so many more easy buckets coming off of Dame pick and rolls. How are you gonna be able to stop a Giannis lob when you're at the trap a Dame pick and roll?
That's what I'm saying. It's like the efficiency's gonna jump.
That's not my job to figure that out. So I'm not gonna answer that.
It's your boy Joe Mazzulla's job. Good luck.
Exactly.
KP is not going to answer those questions. I'm telling you that.
That is a fair pick though by Mo. And even though that I wouldn't have Giannis at 2, I feel like the last couple of years, once you start getting to like February and March, everyone's like, hey, is Giannis the MVP? Like, have we been overlooking him for the last 6 months? And I think now that Dame is there is like the spotlight, which is already on Giannis, it's going to be even bigger. And so people are going to be watching like every single night. So yeah, I can see that happening for Giannis though.
I think that's going to be Jokic. This past year, like you said, it was Tatum the first month. And then he slowed down and everyone's like, oh wait, Jokic is still Jokic. And he became the favorite for a while until all the Kendrick Perkins shit started and Joel Embiid won the narrative war. I think it'll be similar this year where those two teams in the East and then the Suns are going to be the shiny new toys. Lakers to some extent too. And everyone's like, oh, is it Giannis? Is it Tatum? Is it LeBron? Because he's going to start strong like always. And then dust is going to settle. Injuries are going to fall apart. Teams are going to normalize. And people are going to look up and be like, this motherfucker Jokic is the 1 seed, averaging 26 points on 70% true shooting like he always is. And it's going to be like, oh, wait, he's by far the most valuable player on this game right now. And we're going to see the same thing that happened last year, except Joel Embiid is not walking through those doors to ruin it.
Okay, well.
I like that thought process.
Yeah, like I'm not going to like, it's not crazy to think that. But like,
it's simple. Like it's my pick is the easiest pick to pick. Like it's like the safest pick for sure.
That's what got you last year though. See, you didn't see ahead what I was seeing about the voter fatigue. I couldn't predict race relations being brought into it. Right? I didn't see that. But do you think like this is a very rare air of people who are able to get 3 and 4? Do I think
Jokic deserves that? Yes.
Yeah. Not deserves it.
I know what you mean.
But like,
I know what you mean.
Is he gonna do it? Like
I think the finals MVP reset the voters' fatigue. I think there was that feeling. Everyone was like, he has to do it in the finals. He has to do it in the playoffs. This guy keeps failing in the first round. Now he did it. And now it's like, oh, he's on that like all-time great run. He's in the middle of like being this generation's whoever you want to compare him to. I don't want to get slandered for being like Tim Duncan or whatever, but whoever you want to say was that guy for a generation. I think now people are buckling in like, oh, Jokic is starting this dynasty run for an individual.
He believes in that.
He would have to
believes that.
He
wanted to say Tim Duncan.
It's just so crazy just because like the last person to do it was LeBron. And then the only other person to do it before that was Larry Bird. And obviously like we all hold Jokic in very high regard already all time. It's a little crazy to me that like 3 and 4 years is gonna happen, especially like I think Jokic is gonna have a very good spot in the second spot, and then I think between Giannis and Tatum, whichever team is the first seed, they're gonna be 1, and then who's ever second is gonna be 3 behind Jokic.
I can see that. I'm not worried about like the precedent thing because I think Jokic is clearly like in terms of regular season players, especially in that rare air. Like in terms of like it comes so easy to him. He has the most effortless MVP seasons, just the nature of his game. I think we're gonna look back when his career's over and like put him in that caliber in terms of regular season performance. Like imagine if peak James Harden did that every year without the fraudulent concerns. You'd be like, oh, this guy's clearly an all-time great top 5 regular season player ever. I think that's kind of who Jokic is.
Nah, he was playing that insurance fraud basketball.
Yeah, Jokic isn't. And he's doing the same shit.
To wrap this up, I wanted to highlight just a few things. First and foremost, this is gonna be, I feel like, the most my bad MVP award ever if Jokic doesn't win it. And not because like Jokic doesn't deserve anything like that, but it's like, holy fuck, y'all. Kendrick Perkins and all the boys were so wrong, and it has to do with how good Jokic is. The narrative, like, fuck, my bad, and also how piss poor Joel Embiid was in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I mean, bro.
I think, yeah, it's gonna be definitely a my bad MVP, and they're gonna his narrative has been realigned and reset because of those two things happen. How those two things happened, Embiid choking like shit and Jokic putting on a generational performance. And I think
exactly.
And in my greatest players of all time video that we did, I think I had him like top 13 or some shit like that. And that's me projecting like a motherfucker. And I don't give a fuck. I see the vision. I'll stand 10 toes on it.
You're so right.
So
I think
it matches.
MVP race last year, people were like, we've given this dude too much. He hasn't proven anything. And now after having one of the most monstrous playoff runs I've ever seen, it's like, oh wait, have we not given him enough? Like, do we need to like keep rewarding this excellence? Like, it's flipped now, I think.